I was on Dublin bus. I went back down to the back of the bus, and there was this owl lad down there, and he was drinking a can of Harp. Now, if you don't know Harp, it's that kind of like liquidized depression. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I would describe it. And I made the big mistake of making eye contact with him, right? And he just shook the can of Harp at me. He said, "Would you like a drop of Harp?" And I said, "Fuck it, yeah, go on, you know." I was like, I'd forgotten my earphones, you know what I mean? I was like, this fucker can beat today's podcast, you know? So anyway, I sat down beside him, and I immediately learned some very interesting things about him, right? Like, for one thing, this was not his first time drinking Harp. And I know that because he told me. He said, "I've been drinking Harp for 30 years. Am I right or am I wrong?" I was like, you fucking look right, you know? You look like you've been playing a harp with your face for the last 30 years, to be honest, you know? You do not look well, my friend, you know? And he said, yeah. He said, "You're a good young fella. Am I right or am I wrong?" I said, "By God, he's right again, you know?" I said, "That's 2 out of 2. I started to think, has he ever been wrong, you know? And then next he said, listen, "I have to tell you something. And this said, I was like, oh, Jesus, don't tell me he's my real father, you know? That'd be a nightmare, you know? I said, "What is it?" Right? And he said, "Oi, I'm a member of the IRA. And I didn't know what to fucking say. So I just panicked and went, "Nice," right? And then he just goes, "Nice, yeah." But then that gave him like confidence. And he just said, "Hey, would you maybe want to be a member of the IRA?" And again, I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, go on." You know, like, I'm not doing nothing else today. Let's unite the fucking country, you know? And that was it. I was in the IRA, you know? And I have to say that being in the IRA, it felt very, very similar to not being in the IRA, you know? Almost identical, I would say, you know? But it was fucking exciting, though. Because it turned out, get this, that my first mission as a member of the IRA was to give this lad money for more cans of Harp. That was my first. He said, "You're gonna donate to the cause. Am I right or am I wrong?" I said, "First one you've got wrong all day, you cunt." He's human after all, I said, you know.